Hello, everybody. This is Tony Ruggiero here on the Tour Coach Podcast. I appreciate you joining in. If you haven't listened before, these are my stories from my travels, the people I meet, the coaches, the teachers, the players, mental coaches, wherever it is from around the travels that I have in this game, whether it's from my studio in Mobile, Alabama, all the way down to where I teach mostly at Old Palm, down in Palm Beach Gardens, or out at a live event or a tour event or a Corn Ferry event. But all of it is things that I find interesting, entertaining, and helpful to all of those of you who are wanting to play the game better, teach the game better, and just love the game of golf. Hopefully you'll enjoy what we've got going on here. We've got some exciting stuff coming up for each and every one of you. If you like what you hear on the podcast, you can always find more content as we're kind of spreading our wings, if you will, with Dew Sweepers TV on YouTube. Just go to Dew Sweepers TV on YouTube, and there's links to it in our description. For example, just go on one of those links and please support the Dew Sweepers and support and like our page there on YouTube. And to kick all of this off, we've got a great promotion, a great contest running through Masters Sunday. And if you go onto our YouTube page and subscribe, and on any of the videos in the comments section, you just put hashtag Dew Sweeper TV. That's hashtag Dew Sweeper TV. Or you take a screenshot of this podcast, and on Instagram, you tag me at the Dew Sweeper and hashtag Dew Sweeper TV. We're going to sign you up for a drawing on Monday after the Masters for a set of Srixon irons, ZX 4, 5s, or 7s, 12 gloves of your size, and 12 dozen balls. We're going to do that drawing Monday after the Masters. All you got to do is you can check the links in the description part of this podcast, or for a link to it, go to YouTube TV, type in Dew Sweeper TV, and listen to watch some of the videos, listen to it, put in hashtag Dew Sweeper TV or hashtag Pro Work or hashtag Tour Coach, and you will register for the drawing the Monday after the Masters. That's a set of Srixon irons, 12 dozen gloves your size, 12 dozen Srixon golf balls, all to make you play better. Hopefully you'll enjoy the Tour Coach. We've got great sponsors, as I say, each and every week here on the Tour Coach. Can't forget Buick GMC and McConnell Automotive, my good buddy Mitch McConnell, Visor Skincare, Bushnell Golf, and all of the stuff they've done for us. We got some great Pro Work episodes being filmed and coming up. And, of course, Srixon, Cleveland Golf, and don't forget Taylor Martino and Rowan here in Mobile, and Stokely's Garden Express. I'm Tony Ruggiero. We've got great stuff coming here on the Tour Coach. We got a great contest running through the Masters, chance to win Srixon equipment. Hopefully you'll enjoy my conversations and our roundtables and our discourse on how to improve at the game of golf. I've enjoyed sharing all of it with you. I hope you enjoy it. We've got more coming. All right, so we're back here for the Tour Coach from one of our weekend retreats down here at Old Palm. Me, my boy Coop, Donald Cooper, who by the end of the night is going to be on Instagram as the Coop. Dr. Greg Cartin from my new digs here too. My new little location here. It's in one of the little club cottages, and we've got a couple of our guests from the
Fortunate
retreat.
enough to have them join us tonight.
Fortunate enough to have them join us. Minesh and Noah joining us. Down from Boston.
Guys.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, no thanks for having us.
Father-son duo.
Yeah.
And look,
Glad to
Noah's already signed up for the next 6 retreats.
Yeah, but Dad and Mom haven't yet.
Yeah, but it's okay. I've already charged her a credit card. It's totally fine. Guys, how have you been? How'd you enjoy the first day?
I thought it was fantastic. Really enjoyed.
By the way, this is his dream to be on a golf podcast.
Yeah, for sure. For a guy
that we had to talk him.
He lays in bed listening to these things.
Yeah. Fun fact: I do listen to golf podcasts while going to sleep at night because it does help me to get to bed. But yeah.
Who do you listen to? We'll give him credit here.
You know, I mean, I like I listen to the Fried Egg podcast a lot.
Oh, he's good.
He's good. Yeah,
They were super good.
Those guys.
They haven't had me on yet, but I think maybe one day I'll grow up. Yeah.
No. I think that they should because, you have a lot to offer. But that being said, glad to be down here. Glad to be with y'all. Today was a fantastic day. It was amazing to be around so many people in the game of golf who had different experiences, from caddies to swing coaches to physios to sports psychologists. It was great for a hacker who's been playing the game for about 15 years, who just wants to get better, and to enjoy it with my son was awesome.
And I'm going to say this. So Doc and I were riding around watching you guys when you played, and I think one of the important parts of what we do is we also take you on the golf course.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to take people on the golf course, regardless of skill level. But anyways, Greg commented on how much better you've gotten over the time playing golf.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're like you're.
Well, wait, let's back that story up a little bit. Yeah. Minesh and I have been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And we started playing a lot of golf when Minesh was really just getting into the game and was obsessed with it, and had some struggles early on.
And by the way, today you would never know that.
Well, I would have never. First one to say to him,
I would have never known.
Man,
that.
your swing has
Honestly.
gotten so much better.
Yeah, listen, I didn't grow up playing golf, and it was never anything that I was exposed to as a kid. But obviously, like, the feeling of like hitting a flush golf shot and like hitting something pure has kept me coming back for 15 years. But I think the one thing that I've been missing is like really like consistent teaching on what to work on, what I need to improve on. And I think today was awesome, because it really kind of helped to crystallize a lot of things that I've been missing for a long time in my golf game. And kudos to Dr. Greg Cartin for playing golf with me when I first started playing, and it was a horror show.
You two started playing together just as friends?
So
was it a client?
So Minesh's wife and Noah's mom and I grew up together. We were friends from when we were little, and we ended up living next to each other when we were older. And we became good friends. And
Minesh you knew this was your business.
Golf, and honestly, back then that wasn't even my business.
That was before.
That answers my question.
Yeah.
But I was always a golf junkie.
Right.
Yeah. And we played.
What was your business then? I mean,
I was a student.
Learning his business.
Yeah, I was a student. I was learning my business back then.
Okay.
But I'd always played. I'd played my whole life. So, and Minesh hadn't. He was just coming to the game, and we played a lot together, and it was a lot of fun.
The golf gods think.
Yeah, but I mean, I think for like a guy like Greg, who has been playing since for forever, to kind of take me under his wing and to show me the ropes, because obviously I didn't know a whole lot about playing golf, the etiquette, everything that was like involved in it. But but to have the patience to be able to do that.
So you had all the fears when you started playing golf that all people have, and maybe we can get into this.
Yeah, this is great.
That I'm not
We're
good
just
enough
rolling
to
with
play
this.
with guys that have played for a long time.
Don't want to slow them up.
Don't want to slow them up. Don't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
And people just want to play with good people.
Right.
And I used to say that to you all the time.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you shoot.
Right.
Just keep going.
Right.
We're looking for a fun 6 hours
and it was
these
fun.
days.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of people I could play with, but I want to play with people I like to be around.
Yeah.
And that's the same with everybody.
And I just want to mention real quick that I would have given anything to have the opportunity to spend a weekend with my dad doing this. Kind of a way it's just, in a sense, he and I.
Yeah.
I think it's special bonding and just.
It was amazing, and I called my wife.
special.
I called my wife today after we were done, and
She answered?
She thought it was spam, so she picked up.
I use your phone.
So
I use your phone.
Right.
Of course you answered.
So like I told her, I'm like, listen, like, it was amazing, because like Noah said, like, this is like his most fun day on a golf course, and to be able to experience that with him was like
awesome.
the most amazing form of like father-son bonding. That
You'll never get.
That I was super jacked up because I had talked to Alex and told her, Minesh's wife, about these camps, and I'm going to sign Noah up. but I didn't know that you were coming until a little bit after that. Like, that's the greatest thing ever.
That is.
Well, but on purpose, I separated y'all.
Yeah.
So that you could be with the other young guys.
So Noah could be with the good golfers.
Yeah, it was a great
But you still experience it together, right? Because I've had adults, I've had father-sons come, and I've watched, and I think
a little trying too hard.
Well, I just think if you split them, like they both get the experience, but they both get to experience it together, but then they still get to be themselves, which I think is part of the growing process, right?
And like I think like as a parent, you know, like you're so concerned about your child like hitting a great shot or doing well that like you're sort of preoccupied with that, so you can't focus on your own terrible golf swing, on trying to load into your right hip and trying to, you know, like do all the things that you want to do. So yeah, I think it was awesome the way you set it up, and you know, having us in separate groups, but then reconnecting sort of later in the day,
right.
and you know, and sharing those experiences. It was, you know, it was great. I'm looking forward to doing it tomorrow.
No, enough of it. Let's talk about you for a while. What did you think of today?
Today, I really enjoyed it, just like the multiple aspects, chipping, putting, fitness, and then obviously full swing. I really enjoy like the multiple intakes people had on like what helped me and what I could do to improve myself. And especially like to have
Why
a
does
caddy.
he sound smarter than all the teachers?
Because he is. He is. Listen to the kids.
Especially having a caddy out there, like when you're practicing chip shots, really gets you into like
legendary.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Major winning caddy.
All I instill is things that are kind of looked over.
Yeah.
Like reading a lie.
Exactly.
Yeah. I will say this. Noah, today, I learned from every one of these camps, and I learned something today, to keep your mouth shut.
Did you learn that?
I did, because I wanted to get his hands in front of that golf ball so bad until he hit a few shots, and I'm like, he's dialed. He's dialed. You don't need to do anything with his hands. Let him do what he does. And I think that goes into how you guys teach individuals golf. It's one thing isn't correct for everyone.
No.
And Noah's talented, super talented, and he's going to be a great
young player.
It's all up to him what he does with
What
it.
grade are you?
Freshman, yeah.
Freshman. You're going to play college golf.
How tall are you?
6 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, you should see
Same
this
as me.
arc he creates.
Same as me.
Right. Me too, huh?
You were 6 feet 20 years ago.
I was never 6 feet.
Like if you're
when
going
I
to
when I stand on
a stool, we're not 6.
Phone book, I'm not 6.
But I mean, Noah has everything that the players today need. You know, he's built well. He has a great swing, and he's focused on getting better. I don't see any reason he won't. Not one.
I think one of the cool things, and my goal when doing these, and Greg and I've obviously been close for a long time, but it's always been every year, like I've always wanted to add something different that you couldn't get somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? And to make it different.
And that's hard.
And so Coop, I mean, not just because he's here, but like Coop was like, where, like, you can go get good golf instruction anywhere. You know, you can get shady mental help anywhere, right?
And you can get a decent caddy anywhere.
Well, you can get fitness there, but like, where can you go as
to make you want to come back
as a junior golfer or an adult and go out on some holes after you've worked on your swing and have somebody that's caddied in majors and won majors help a guy that's shooting 75 or 85, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that was, I did. I remember Greg and I talking about it, and I was like, man, like, we've been, I was like, this is great, right?
The first time you asked me to do this, I thought he was joking. I'm like, yeah, right.
Dude.
You want me to teach them what I know? I don't think so. But I came down, I stuck with it, and like I said, I learned so much the first time.
We've done it a bunch
we
now.
have.
So we've done these
and
things.
I'm coming back to every one because I get satisfaction out of. Today I got satisfaction out of seeing you two guys together. Boom, that was good enough. But then when I saw you guys play and learn, I was blown away.
I've watched you caddy for years, and I've never seen you happier doing.
I'm as happy
guys.
doing this
Like
as anything. I mean,
I've noticed it too. You're like energized.
It's satisfying.
But we've been go ahead, Minesh.
No. I mean, I know that, like, you know, Greg is a good buddy of mine and stuff like that. But I have to say that, you know, like playing golf over the past 15 years and like, you know, like having, you know, caddies that, you know, playing at different places that I played at the past, like I have to say that, you know, you, Coop, as like, you know, what you do psychologically and from like a standpoint of like giving players confidence really helps. Like, I mean, it's like invaluable. I mean, it's better than what Greg could ever do. Like, of course,
well, I know
just
that.
kidding, Greg. But you know, I mean, it's huge, and like something that you know I've experienced a lot before in the past, and you know, and to like to be with the pro is like is
I do
is
appreciate
amazing.
it, and I just feel like it's my job to share the information I've gathered in my 30 years of caddy.
Yeah.
a lot of information.
Let guys that are good use that information.
Right.
So
Right.
I have just a blast. I would not. There's no way I wouldn't come down here. One time I didn't for bad weather.
Right.
And that's it, you know. But I get as much out of this as
And I've always thought when we first started doing a bunch of these way back.
Mobile?
Yeah, I remember you remember the Players Championship when Sergio kissed me on the cheek?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I do.
That was emotional for me.
It was. I mean, seriously, he kisses no one.
But
Only his daughter.
What's your connection with Sergio?
he kissed me on the cheek. So I'll tell this story real quick. And I'm a big Sergio fan.
I am too. I love him.
Like the lag.
I didn't have any player in the Masters that year. I hadn't taught good enough, and I was down at the beach and I was watching Sergio win the Masters. I was pulling for him. May or may not have had a little action on it, but anyway,
beside the point.
But I was pulling for him. I always have pulled for guys that I felt like winning a major, whether it's the Masters, U.S. Open, whether even I was a huge fan of their career, like I was always a fan of like that validated them.
Yeah. Proved.
Do you know what I'm saying?
To the world.
Like I felt like Montgomery at Wingfoot, even though I didn't grow up a Colin Montgomery fan, I hated that he lost that because I felt like how much that would have meant to him. Right. Like, and nothing against Jeff Ogilvy, but I feel like that would have meant more to Colin Montgomery's career than what it did to Jeff Ogilvy's career. I really do.
I agree totally.
Okay, and so
his passion shows.
Correct. Right. Colin Montgomery didn't ever win a major. But you can't. I mean, I think he's overlooked for how great a player he was for a long time around the world.
He won like 7 orders of merit.
Right.
I mean,
this podcast all over the place, but
and that's good. Right. But you're right. Colin Montgomery was in deserving of a major.
Correct. I really believe that.
Yeah.
And
he was that good.
And anyway, so you laugh because
I know what's happening.
But anyways,
it's kicking in.
Is that on the top or bottom?
So anyways, he had just won the Masters, and so it's probably 2 weeks later.
Colin Montgomery?
No,
Sergio.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So he just won, and I was there with you and Lucas, and I think Smiley was playing that year as well. So anyways, I'd gone in the locker room, and you guys were on the range, and I was going to the bathroom probably. And anyways, I'm walking out, and in comes Serge with...
What day is this?
Probably Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
Probably Tuesday.
Right.
I think I got in Monday.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't like to get there too early.
I know.
So anyways, it's probably why I got fired a lot. I wasn't there all week. But anyway, so he walks. You know how at Sawgrass, they're walking in that locker room's to the left, and I'm walking out of the locker room. I'm coming out.
They got the doors that.
Yeah, and he's walking in, and
the $8 million
he's got probably 15 Augusta flags under his arms that he's got to sign. Right, it's one of those, right? And this is like maybe the year or two before they went and moved it back to where it's in March or whatever.
Right.
I think it was way better personally in May. The golf course I thought played firmer and better, but that's
speaking of PGA.
I'm talking about Sawgrass, TPC, right?
Correct.
So, anyways, he's walking in. He's got these flags, and he was just right there coming through the door, and I said, Sergio, just want to tell you, congratulations, and how much I was pulling for you because I know how much winning Augusta was meant to you. That's all I said. Mm-hmm. He puts the flags down. He put his hands on my shoulder, and he kissed my cheek, and he hugged me, and he said, thank you. And he was emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, walking out to the tee, I mean, I'm going to watch Lucas Discovery balls, but I just had the Masters champion kiss me.
Right.
Because that's how much it means to him.
Right?
Yeah.
But that struck a chord to me how much that meant to him.
Can I tell a quick story?
Yes, you can,
So-
by God.
Sergio has to be 19, probably 19. He comes to Augusta, playing for 3 days.
This is epic.
And I'm working for his dad, Victor.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I'm caddying for Victor the
When
3
is
days.
this?
This is when Sergio's 19 years old.
Okay.
He hadn't qualified for the.
He hadn't. He was just, just a.
Or,
19
Yeah.
amateur.
USA.
And we spent 3 days with Victor and Sergio, and seeing his enthusiasm, his passion, I thought that day, I said, you will see this guy win the Masters. To myself, not out loud. I'm like, he is the kind of guy that he wins.
Yeah.
And, he won it. And he had just had he and his wife had his child, Azalea. Mm-hmm. And he came up to me like he did you one day and goes, I just want you to know pretty much what Augusta means after he had won. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Sergio, it's weird because I live there, and on Sunday night, we either accept a winner or we don't. And we more than accepted you as a winner.
Yeah, I thought it was as a golf fan, I thought it was like when Sergio won the Masters, it was obviously awesome because he waited so long. He had such an accomplished career up to that point, but it kind of reminded me of like when Phil won his first major in 03, 04, whenever it was. Right. But it was like the same sort of deal, right? Like, like a decade of really good play, and then finally, he kind of came through.
And a little bit of redemption. He had, he almost won the Open, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
the Open
and PGA
years ago.
And like
that's right, Medina.
Yeah.
And
hit that shot at the tree.
Yes.
People were astonished when he jumped. I'm like, you should have seen him those 3 days at Augusta.
Yeah.
He was like a kangaroo. I mean, so much energy, so much passion, just unbelievable. But
I want to bring this back to the
because I don't even know where we were going with that.
Yeah, right.
Like
Sorry.
Sergio.
Yeah,
Because
I'm a big Sergio fan, by the way.
if you can lag it, I love you.
So we all of us who are involved in these camps have always brought people or suggested people come down, right?
Man,
and there's always
there's been some people we don't let come or bring them.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, well, you bring most of the people, but like, I got some guys that are coming down. We're gonna bring some people, or Jackson, or whoever. And there's always like, I hope they have a good time here. And we've been doing these I've been with you for 10 or 11 years.
Yeah.
You've been doing them a little bit before I was, but not that much longer. Mm-hmm. And every single time we bring these strangers from all over the country that come down here, from Boston, from Alabama, like that doesn't mix usually too well.
Right.
But it does. But it does with golf.
And we have dinner, and everyone gets to know each other, and they play together like they've known each other forever.
Right.
And that helps with the learning process.
Yeah. One of the things
they sit in and watch each other take lessons.
So I think this is like my upbringing. And we were talking earlier at dinner at Hurricane Wings. I'm going to give them a shout out. It's not great, but it's good.
Yeah.
We used to give out a shout out to Brogan's.
Brogan's, yeah. But by the way, Brogan's.
And Lily's.
Brogan's. I think Brogan's was terrible.
Let's don't go there.
Okay, but anyway.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
But anyway.
We loved it when we were
If you're in the area, go to Hurricanes. They'll treat you right.
Right, exactly. Anyway, so, but I've always thought like I think of it like, I'm Italian, and I've always thought being Italian we have these big dinners.
Southerner.
I'm a Southern Italian.
I'm Nordish.
You're Nordish. We found that.
We're all from different backgrounds.
But I've always thought like the whole dinner thing was a cool deal.
Yeah.
Right.
I do too.
And back when we did them at Frederica, in fact, at one point the owner and the agent there told me I was dumb for having everybody go to dinner together because it ran expenses up or whatever. I was like, well, F you, I don't give a shit.
This is what I'm doing.
I mean, I hadn't, and I said, but like I think it's important having people hang out together.
To know someone truly, you have to break bread with them.
And I think,
in my opinion,
and I think one of the cool things is bringing people from different places that all love golf and want to get better together. And I think that's one of the cool things.
Yeah.
And like I want to say, Noah, like
let's get Noah.
Like you playing golf with, like you had a couple guys trying to learn to play for a living, another junior and stuff. Couple juniors,
the mini tour players,
all trying to get better, but all from different backgrounds. Like I think it's a cool experience just being around that, and it's fun for me, Greg.
Especially when you see that you're just
at the end when you guys are on the practice holes or you're on the course, riding around, watch how they all play together, and then we're playing for a $50 gift card. Like in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't mean that much, but like it's fun.
Yeah, it is.
What's it like playing with people?
I mean, I really like, especially playing with mini tour players. It's just really cool to see how they think and visualize golf, because it's a whole different perspective from like how I think. They think like much more detailed and
a little more dialed in.
Yeah, they're more dialed in, and they really have like purpose to every shot. They don't just hit shots. They do it with like intention, and that's really something you can take.
That is. They don't hit them better than you, but their intentions are better.
I can sleep.
I can just stay.
We don't even need Greg.
I mean, what did you come down here? Did you have any expectations from what you would get?
I mean, really just meeting like a lot of new people,
just being involved with the different people that play the game. And I think having the physio part of it is so huge, because growing up, I never, I would hit my first shot on the tee in flip-flops. Probably slept an hour. I just never paid attention to like preparing to play golf.
Yeah.
And if you did that today,
I mean, but as you guys know, being in like the professional golf game and stuff like that, I mean, like it just has become
you could be my full-time assistant.
So much more of like an athletic endeavor over the past 10, 15 years. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Or no? But it's like, I mean, everyone's so super serious, and like, which is like, I guess the way it is now.
It has to be approached.
That's a good point too, and we've been talking about this for years. Yeah, you have to be serious in terms of your commitment, but you can have a good time too.
Yeah.
Right. Like you can
talk a little bit about that. I think that there's this misunderstanding that for something to be serious and you to really get something out of it, it can't be fun.
Yeah, well,
I think that's wrong.
It's just like playing on the PGA Tour.
Right.
It's almost like those guys can't have fun, and yes, they can.
They play a great
But part of like the Western culture is you can't be happy until you achieve something.
Until you've accomplished.
So until you've gotten a certain place, you can't be happy. Mm-hmm. And until you get there, you got to be not miserable, but you got to grind. You got to work your ass off. You got to be serious.
There has to be struggle.
What I was drawn to you is early, like I remember I met you. Where did I meet you?
Was that on a dating site?
He was drawn to.
We don't want to talk about that.
Is that like
Farmers.com?
No, we were working with Smiley, and I was trying to be all serious about what I did, and I showed up to the range. This was
way back.
My first gig, like way back.
Because he's easy.
He was one of my first clients, and I showed up to this tournament with Smiley, and I was all buttoned up, and we're on the range, and I had my notebook out.
Proper.
And he's out there drinking a beer, and they're joking around.
Being themselves.
I wasn't drinking at a tour event.
No, it wasn't a tour event.
You're going to give me a bad name.
No, he was practicing. It wasn't a tour event.
Drinking don't make you a bad person.
No, but I don't want
you
people.
know what I mean. I don't mean that. But like what you showed me was.
Not that I haven't done it. I'm just saying I don't want to talk about it.
And I was starting to buy into this anyways, but I'm like, man, you can have a good time at this game before you do anything. He hadn't done anything with it.
That's why you start playing.
Yeah.
You don't start playing
to be
miserable.
It's a game, and it's fun. And you can have fun and be fulfilled before you achieve anything. And by the way, when you do that, usually you achieve stuff faster. And that's what in these camps, that's been the model the whole time.
It's great having these guys
great
here.
Time. Yeah.
Because I never have known what they expect from this. And I need to know what they expect.
I told you, like, think of a good time.
I mean, listen, I think like golf is like the perfect it is life. It encompasses. It is a microcosm of life because I mean it is like just. So it is rarely perfect, but you have to like continue to like pursue like a positive path or progress or getting better.
But by the way,
or
when you first started playing, you were miserable a lot of times on the golf course, right? Like it was just. But because you fell into that trap that you felt like, I have to be good to have a good time.
And you taught me, the trick, which was the fact is that no one gives a shit.
No one cares about
how you play.
You just want to be a good
like as long as you don't like hold up the scene and like are annoying to be around and like you can just keep stuff moving, then it's all good.
And that's not a problem.
I gotta tell that story. I gotta tell that story.
All right.
So early on in our. Not in our friendship, but in our golf, when we were playing golf, I invited Minesh up to my course to play.
What course would that be?
This is Brayburn Country Club in
right.
Newton, Massachusetts. Fantastic Don Ross course.
Give everybody a
Great place.
shout out.
Yeah.
Hey, boys.
Love the people there.
Yep.
Hey, Phil, head pro, great dude.
Right on.
Great place.
Yeah, Sean.
So, and Sean. And so Minesh pulls in on like 2 wheels. He's late. Chad Farrington was playing with us that day.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's as calm as he can be. He doesn't give a shit about
So
anything.
you yourself have created now a situation.
Yeah, he's
where
nervous.
People are kind of looking at.
No, but this is back in your day when you were nervous about playing with people and still.
Yeah.
Like you weren't playing anywhere. Still.
And like I was coming in hot because like I did like a half day of
He was
work
working.
and like
Right,
I was like
and you
rolling
rushed.
in late and like Waze took me like the wrong
I
way.
understand.
So in our first tee, at Brayburn is
comfortable.
right in front of the grill room. Like everyone's out there drinking and like laughing and joking with everyone. And he putts his one out there, and there's a little creek in front of the green. It's about 20 yards short of the green. It's a second shot, I think, into the creek. No, you didn't. You got it over because no, you hit it into the creek.
Please tell me you didn't hit his third in.
No, he hit the second one in the creek, and he's going in to look for it, and he slips on a rock, and he falls. He's into the creek. He's in the creek.
Not because you fell.
I kind of stuck the landing because like I outstretched hand. I didn't go like my butt didn't hit water, but I was wet.
And the other guy we're playing with, who was
I'd
another
blame
friend of
that
ours
on
from our
Greg.
neighborhood, we were all friends, and we're looking like this poor guy is so jacked up and nervous and.
He
Man,
can't
I just
even
wish
stand
he,
up.
he fell into the fucking
Right.
pond.
But what a way to not get him to watch the golf swing.
But right, you remember that?
Yeah,
It
but
was
like
a great example.
the
like,
funniest thing, that was the last time Greg and I played golf, and that was 15 years ago.
Really?
No, just
No, that was no. I was
like,
like back after that. In fact, it became a great story. But the point was like, man, I feel bad for guys. And as an example, like that's a lot of people play golf. They're so nervous. And they can't have
Right,
fun. They
right.
can't like let it go and just
Because of
this
what
is
we
supposed
think
to be
other
fun.
people think about it.
And by the way, he could have shot 200 that day. I don't
You
care.
weren't gonna change
We're
your
having a
thought.
good time. We're having a couple
Right.
drinks. We're having fun. We're playing. It's a late afternoon on Friday. We're just having a good time, right? And it made me so upset.
I understand that. That is
That, like-
beautiful. I mean,
But after what we did today, you're going to be dazzled.
Oh my
or
goodness.
maybe just.
By the way, you come a
cream
long
on
way.
purpose.
Oh, my
Your
goodness.
swing looked so much different.
Oh,
I was
let
like,
me-
I sent Wade a video. I'm like,
It was good.
this is a different guy.
It was good.
His swing
When he
was different.
stood up over the first ball, I'm
Yeah.
thinking, what's he going to learn here? This guy looks like, he's conquered the game. I mean, your setup looked perfect.
From your
Everything
lips
looked
to God's
It was
ears,
like, this guy
seriously.
knows golf.
Yeah.
And then
No.
your first 2 shots were good.
Really?
But then he kept hitting, and it showed up that he had a few weaknesses.
A few.
Only simple things, but watching him throughout the day, it's hard to believe that you've only played golf that long. I mean, seriously. And his son Noah is
Yeah.
spectacular, and I want to hear more. I'm still interested in what you came here thinking. Just meeting up with the guys from different parts of the country has to be a bonus, and just you like seeing what the mini tour players do.
Yeah, because really like seeing what the main tour players do, just how they
your-
handle like their absolute like talent out there.
And your next step
Yeah.
in this.
And think about it for them. They're the same. Like we bring them with guys that have status, and
Right.
guys with status are the guys that have played on tour. Or
That's why I
play
think
on
it's
tour.
special here.
Yeah.
And I think that's, but I also think it's good for them to give back, to come play with people. That's how they get
Correct.
better. I think that they remember,
All the guys you work with have always loved coming to these camps.
Wasn't there, and this is serious, there was a commercial or something the PGA Tour put out is always give back to the game.
Yeah.
They didn't
And
do shit for me.
Well,
but
they did. They just said it. They didn't do me either.
No, but the guys
But
you've always
I think
they've always showed up.
yeah.
You need
And by the
Our
way,
guys
we've had
always
guys that have come to these camps. Will McFadden, those dudes have been here forever.
Yeah, hey, Will, forgot what you look like, bud. Missed the swing. Hope to
They
see
come
you
back.
sometime.
Because they like to come hang out.
I mean, Will's he is special.
Yeah.
He's so good with the kids.
He's been coming to these camps since
I
he
know.
was younger than him.
And he would just give all the time in his life to help you guys, and I root for him so hard.
Can I ask a question to my son?
Sure.
Absolutely.
So,
Is this personal? Do we need
I know,
to?
no. We're good. Open forum. But so you were telling us like how like what you learned from the mini like the mini tour players coming out and stuff like that. What about the other junior golfers that were there? Like, what did you learn from them? Because they were kind of your age, maybe a year older, a little bit more experienced.
Yeah.
Like what do you learn from guys like that?
I would say guys like Baker, like I saw him right away. He had like a great mindset because he wasn't like worried about anything. He was just worried about taking golf like one step at a time.
Right.
And I really think I could implement that to my game. Because,
Could we go as far as
yeah,
to say
golf
he wasn't
gets
worried
super
at all?
overthinking.
He was here to learn.
Yeah, he's got a good head on his shoulders.
No,
he's
but
very mature.
But that's good. Yeah, he is. But he struggles with the same thing everyone else does.
Yeah.
He spent a bunch of time with Doc
He's no
yesterday
difference.
riding around.
And he's a guy. He plays all year round, right? And then you get exposed to these guys that have all this time in the world to play golf.
Right. Noah to
all
me
year
seems
round.
like a guy that sits back there and really absorbs what's being said, and whether I don't know what he does with that information. I don't know if it spits right back out and he goes, these guys are whack. But it's like he pays attention and he knows what you say and he knows what to use or not use.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure these kids get a lot of information they cannot use.
No.
Yeah.
And that's no one's fault. It's
Well,
just-
they or that they just process out.
Right. But you
Well, you
can see
take
these
what you-
kids really know how to
Yeah.
take the information and make themselves better.
Right.
Like I'm excited for tomorrow because I always see the difference in a day. Think about a career. If a day you can see that difference
Minesh
in a
is going to be
game,
in traction tomorrow,
then
but
I
no.
mean, hey, and that's fine. I mean, he can write himself a prescription. I mean, I really do believe that this right here, this is the first step for a player, young or old, that wants to compete in golf. It's the first step to competing.
Yeah.
Because there's knowledge learned here that you can't learn anywhere else.
Oh.
In my
Especially
opinion.
having you as a 32.
Well, and I'm nothing, but just I love sharing my
No, 32
information.
years in the PJ Tour Academy.
And it's what I do. You know, it's what I do.
Yeah.
It's all I know.
Yeah.
And I
got a lot
I
of
appreciate
knowledge.
you guys
Yeah.
listening and
He's a big part of what we
And
do.
taking
and
in
he's
what
been
I'm
so
saying.
cool for me from already 5.5, 6 years.
because I never
together.
thought somebody would ask me to come show somebody how you caddy. I didn't realize that it's an art.
But
it really
no,
is.
it is.
It's
But like that
it's an art.
friendship and the relationship, the three, me, you, and Greg, have
And the guys I
built.
still get in touch with that come to the camps, that we shared phone numbers and just to touch base, it's like,
Now you're going to be able to contact
This-
him on Instagram.
Oh, we're setting
Right,
up a Coop
yeah.
Instagram is starting tonight.
What's Coop's Instagram handle?
We don't know
Just
yet.
okay.
Let's do it.
whatever they say.
TBD.
No,
Okay.
let's just
Okay.
set it up as at Coop the Caddy.
I say,
Well, you got to make sure that'll probably be.
I say Koopaloo.
Koopaloo. Koopaloo.
That's great.
Koopaloo.
Right.
At Koopaloo.
So if you
Guys,
need
All right,
to
follow
reach me
Koopaloo.
for
let's
some
follow at
Yeah.
Koopaloo. Noah, thanks for coming down. I hope,
Noah,
I
yeah,
seriously
I'm
hope
looking
you'll
forward to
come.
tomorrow, brother.
I hope
Yeah.
you're going to come. I hope you're going to come in
Dude,
April.
he's already
or
signed
June.
up for 2 more.
Man, I
Minesh,
mean,
thanks for bringing him
Tony,
and thanks for being
oh
part
my
of it.
God,
It was
this is
fun
the
and you've
best.
been a blast. I hope you'll hang out with
The
you
best.
guys are the best.
nobody better than you. Coop, you know, I
Let's
love
use
you.
him for whip, how to create whip.
We're going to do it.
It's incredible, Noah. You could have like the highest ball speed ever. Seriously.
I just want to remind everybody something that I forgot. Recently, a couple weeks ago, my wife and I went out. We went to a wedding, and afterwards with some friends, we were like, hey, where's a great place to go? I'll be honest, like in my travels and day-to-day, sometimes I get caught up and I forget some of the great places right around the corner. But I got to remind you about the Ice Box Bar on 755 Monroe Street. I was blown away by just the whole vibe, the atmosphere, and with the Velvet Pig, the food in the back room, and the big screen TVs up front. We sat there and watched some playoff games. I was blown away by the atmosphere, the vibe, and just how cool it was to have the Icebox Bar right here near the Dew Sweepers downtown, near where I live. You're looking for a great place to go sit, watch some games, hang out, play some pool. You got to go to the Icebox Bar right there on Monroe Street. There's a good chance you'll see all of us hanging out. Do yourself a favor. Go visit the Icebox. It's one of the best places out there. Hi, this is Tony Ruggiero. And look, recently, several teachers I know and several players have had some scares with skin cancer. In fact, I recently went and saw a dermatologist here in town, and I had a couple things frozen off, eyelid, my face, my earlobe, and not getting any younger. And I know it's getting to that time of the season where it's cooler, but look, being in the sun is a real deal, and I've not been very good, to be totally honest, my whole career at using it at all because I didn't like how greasy it was, how hard it was to get off your hands, how it clogged up my pores. And then I found this sunscreen, Visor Skincare. It's clear. It goes on. It doesn't dry you out. It isn't greasy. It's like you didn't put anything on it. By far, it's the best sunscreen I've ever used. Without a doubt, is the easiest to use. And we've got a discount code for all of you. All you have to do is go to visorskincare.com. Is use our code word DewSweeper. visorskincare.com, code word DewSweeper.